Is Maura Eliza from Flex Health with Maura, and today we're going to be chatting with Mary. She wanted to come on and share her experience. We've been doing BioResonance Feedback Therapy for a month now, and let's just take it from the beginning, Mary. Tell me a little bit about what led you to seek care with me. Like, how had you been feeling?
Okay, so 41 years ago, I had postpartum depression that never went away. And I've been seeing doctor after doctor, trying different medications, um, therapies, just whatever comes across my path, I try. So I was actually doing pretty well. And then I heard about your therapies from a friend. And it was in the back of my mind. And then at the beginning of April, I supposedly got COVID, and which I think it was actually EMF poisoning. But I was feeling really, really bad for 2 weeks, really bad. And I started to feel just a little better. And I just decided to try this. It was in the back of my mind. I'm like, I'm just gonna do this.
Right,
So that's what I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the tipping point was 2 weeks prior to calling me, but you had been struggling for 41 years.
Right.
Give us a little rundown, like a short list of all the people you tried, therapies you tried, just anything that comes off the top of your head. Because I remember us chatting, and I'm like, oh, she's tried a lot. She has gone deep. And so I
Yeah.
should give an idea, an outline for people.
Right. So okay, here we go. I've been on probably every antidepressant that there is. I have done personal development courses. I've done therapy, talk therapy. I did inner child therapy. I was in the hospital 4 times for depression. One of the times I did shock treatments. Let's see. Now I'm a member at Palm Health, which is that's going well. That was a good decision.
Tell us a little bit about that, because some people will not be local to our area to know what that
right.
is.
So Palm Health is a medical spa that has functional medicine doctors. They also have chiropractors. They're very alternative. And so they have cryotherapy, and they do biomats and PIMF mats and salt room, and they do these services to calm your nervous system. They have classes, and my actual primary care physician is there now. That's where I go for my primary care, which, well, anyway. So
you were deep in it. Like, you had done a lot.
Yes, I have done. Yeah. I have done hypnosis. I've done everything. I've done everything. Yeah. So, so since I was feeling so bad from the EMF poisoning, I was like, I just need to do this. It was just something that when I make up my mind to do something, I just do it.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So over those 41 years, can you give us a rough ballpark of how much you spent on diagnostics and prescriptions, supplements, therapies?
Probably hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I couldn't, I haven't kept track, but over 41 years, you can imagine what I spent. I've tried everything, right. My 4 times in the hospital, I had to meet my deductible. And I mean, right there is, I'm sure 30 or 40 grand, right. Just right there. Yeah. So yes, I've spent a lot of money and a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah. And it can get really frustrating. Like I've spoken with
very
people who are like,
frustrating.
I've spared no expense, both in time and effort,
yep.
and all of this,
yep.
and they're still not where they want to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not unusual. I mean, there are people that I know who have remortgaged their houses.
Yes. Well, yeah, fortunately we didn't have to do that, but yeah, I know.
Well, let's just fast forward to now. How are you feeling now?
I feel amazing. So after my first therapy session, it was a Friday, that evening, that night, I dreamt like I'd never dreamt before, very vivid and real. I could remember it. And for the next 2 nights, the same thing happened. And by the 3rd night, I'm like, I'm not even sleeping. I'm I'm like awake as I was sleeping. The dreams were just so vivid and real, and I felt like I was awake. Anyway, and then by the third session, so with depression, a lot of it is I had complex trauma from growing up with a narcissistic mother and sister. So a lot of it is shame. And so, and I knew I was carrying that. I knew it. And by the third session, the shame was gone. The anger was gone. The guilt was gone. The anxiety was gone. The depression was gone. I noticed that I was able to, I've done things in the past month that I hadn't done for 10 years. I'm able to, even if it's something I don't want to do, I'm able to just work through and do it. I'm motivated. I'm excited about life. I've never actually felt this way. In my head, I knew that this was probably a possibility because my husband is so healthy and happy, and I'm like, okay, he can do this. Why can I not do this? So I see that it exists out here. People can be this way. And yeah. And it's been amazing. Not that I don't sometimes have maybe a little dip in my mood, but I'm able to just keep, I'm able to keep going and get out of it. And yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you actually called me one day, I think it was after that third session, to just tell me like all the things, because we just talked very briefly before we start the therapy. I explained to you how it is, and everybody's response is so different, that it was at that phone call that you were telling me things that had been going on that had changed for you that I didn't even know you had at the beginning.
Right.
So it was just,
yes, I really came for you. The EMF poisoning made me so depressed. So I think it affects what the weakest area in your body, and mine, of course, is in my head. So it made me so depressed. I thought I was going back into an awful depression that I had just worked so hard to come out of. So yeah, that was really, besides physically just not feeling good, it was, and I don't think I don't think I did even mention that to you, that I was, yeah. So it was, the depression like lifted right away, and been quite amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense if the EMF, I mean, everything has a frequency to it. All the foods that we, all the things that we say to ourselves, even the frequency of other people affects our frequency. But you had like an extreme exposure to smart TVs, and it would make sense that that's so frequency based. Even when you got out of it, it affected your body, and then we sent the correcting frequencies that would remove those interferences. Had such a powerful response. Just curious. So this is a remote service for people who don't know. Like, you don't have to come in and see me every 3 weeks. We communicate over text, and I let you know when I'm running. We kind of schedule the sessions out ahead of time. And then you are wherever you are. We are not physically together to do this. Some people will feel something and some people won't. It doesn't really matter like what the results are, but just out of curiosity, where did you fall on that spectrum?
So I feel like a like a relaxation. I pretty much just feel a real nice relaxation.
Yeah.
When it's going on.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, and just finally, what would you say to anyone who's considering working with me?
Oh my gosh. Do not put it off. If you want to get better, do this.
Oh my God.
Do this. And you're a wealth of information. I've learned so much, I've learned so much from you besides doing these therapies. So yeah, don't put it off. Oh my gosh. It's taken me 41 years. Don't wait 41 years.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Well, thanks so much for joining us. And if you have any closing thoughts or anything else that you want to share.
So my husband is wondering where his wife went.
Yes.
Because his wife hates to cook. Would rather have her fingernails pulled out than, cook or assemble even a salad. Just hates it. And he's been having some meals made for him without even asking for a meal. So he likes this new person much better than than the old person. Although he's so supportive, he's always been so supportive. Mary, whatever you need, whatever we'll do it. Whatever you need to do. Of course, he always does say, "Well, what's it going to cost?" He always does ask that question first. But yeah, he's so supportive, which has
He
helped
seems
a
like
lot.
a great man, a really great
Yeah,
man.
he
I'm
is.
glad that he's
Yeah.
getting some comeback for him too.
Oh, he is. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yes, he's
wonderful.
benefiting as well. Everybody is. Yeah,
Good. And it just
right.
feels like such a relief to just be like, oh my gosh, we finally found something.
Yes, yes. But I knew I was just going to keep going, just keep going no matter. I mean, there's times I just wanted to give up. I would be on a puddle on the floor, so depressed, like, crying and screaming and saying, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So finally,
Yeah.
yeah.
That kind of complex PTSD and like abuse is just very deeply impacting, and people
Right,
don't always make the connection between the physical and that mental piece, and like
right. And
so
plus, I don't actually believe in genetics, but if you were to look at my genetics, um, I have predisposition. My father's his whole family, like all of his siblings, my first cousins, my second cousins, like everybody's on antidepressants. So you would say I have a genetic predisposition, which I've never really believed that. So I just kept looking, kept
right,
searching.
right. Oh, I think that's
Yeah,
so great. And that's a great point, because what also follows a family line is habits and phrases that we say and modeling that we see people treating each other, and those things also follow a family line, as well as
right,
like a frequency piece to it that's kind of, I think, is changeable. But if you
right,
don't change it, you can be kind of wrestling with it until you
right,
realize it's changeable.
right.
So
Yeah,
good.
yes,
That's great. So,
yeah.
okay. Well, then thank you again so
Okay.
much for
Thank you.
sharing your story.
Thank you. I'm so blessed to have met you. It's just all, it's just been a really awesome journey.